Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Me and Who Else. This is our 14th episode. You guys, we only have one more after this and we are officially wrapped up for our very first season. I feel like it went by super quick, but I feel like we've had pretty good guests on and I hope you guys have been enjoying this podcast. Thank you so much to everyone who has been joining in and tuning in to every single one of our episodes. Please make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button to make sure you guys are notified every time we upload a brand new episode. So you guys, for today, for the second to last episode of this season, we have a Musically queen. You guys know her everywhere. She's been on Musically. She started her career on social media at a very young age. She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram. She is everywhere. And she's also a new mommy. So I wanted to bring her on just so we can catch up with her. And this is actually her first podcast ever. So we're so excited to have her. So for today, we have Miss Ona.
Hey guys, it's the realest. What's up? It's me, Ona.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm nervous, but I'm happy.
I know, because we were talking about it. So it is her very first podcast. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm excited that it's my first time with you because I feel like you're just a genuine, like, sweet queen.
Oh, thank you so much. I know you guys, it's actually our first time meeting as well. We've been following each other on socials for a very long time, but it's our first time actually meeting in person.
Period.
I know. How are you? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm good. You're so pretty in person, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, look, we're matching today. We look like twins. I feel like I look like your older sister.
You kind of do.
I know. I'm just missing the dimples.
We could pass. We could pass.
I know, huh? So obviously we have been seeing Miss Ona, Miss Hailey for a very long time.
Yes.
I feel like you've been on social media for like, especially since you started like at a really young age. How was that? Like, how was it even growing up or like even starting social media at a young age? Because you started at what age?
I started at 14.
At 14?
Yes.
That is crazy.
I am now 22. So I feel like it's been such a long time. A lot of things have changed. You know, I started off like, I live in a very small town. So social media was just like my outlet to the whole big world, you know? So I feel like social media changed my life for the better. It's had its ups and downs, but I'm happy to be here.
So you grew up in a very small city here in California?
Yes, it's actually called Victorville. And if you know, you know. It's not the greatest, but it's active, y'all. Like, it's active.
Wait, it's not the greatest as in like it's dangerous or like?
I would say like, so you know San Bernardino?
Oh, yes. Okay.
That is like not
the greatest. I'm just,
exactly.
I'm like, don't shoot me for that.
Right.
Before they get mad at us.
But like, that's the same kind of idea that Victorville is. Like, it's just so much crime. There's just so much going on. And like, I grew up literally fighting like my whole childhood. Yes.
Like in school and stuff.
Yes. Like, I think I fought like 10 times growing up. I was getting into it. If I looked at someone, I guess the wrong way, it was just up from there.
Oh,
so it's like every man for themselves out there. I really don't like recommend it living out there. But if you're from there, you know, you get used to it.
Yeah.
That's my hometown at the end of the day.
And then do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do. So my sister, actually, she just got home. She was incarcerated for 15 years. So now she's my older sister, but she finally got home. So it feels good to finally have her back into my life. And then I have my little brother who is 14. So yeah.
So it's just 3 of you guys.
Yeah, those are like my siblings.
And you're the youngest or you're in the middle?
I'm the youngest technically because my little brother is actually adopted, if you know what I mean.
Oh, is he?
It's actually like my sister's son.
Oh, you know, got it. But and then she got incarcerated.
Yes,
so and your parents took him in.
Yes.
Oh my God, how nice! I did not know this.
Yes,
Have you ever shared this online?
Yeah,
okay.
I posted like a YouTube video when she got out. It was like a big moment for all of us. Like everyone who knows I missed my sister so much growing up. So I was really like an only child basically when I was like going through the ups and downs. You know, a lot was going on. My mom kind of struggled with drug abuse a little bit. That's when she like fell apart basically because she lost her baby girl, you know? So when she was going through her emotions, we basically kind of didn't have much from there. We didn't have no income coming in. And so I literally would like scavenge for change to go on like a bus ride to the mall and stuff like that. And I had my one best friend through it all. Like, so we were ride or die, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just, you know, it was very hard. We came from the struggle. So I very much feel like I'm one person who could talk about that. Like, I know there's like a lot of people who are like, I didn't have money, but no. Girl, I'm telling you, I did not have money. Yes, like for real. I was happy to get a cup of noodle. But yeah, you know, I think that made me who I am today. I'm the most humble person when it comes to anything. Like, and I'll help anybody when I can, you know. So I feel like it all is for the better at the end of the day.
And then how was it growing up without an older sister figure?
Yeah, it was definitely hard because, like, I feel like my mom had good intentions in her heart, but like mentally she couldn't be there all the time until I got a little bit older. Then she snapped out of it, which I'm so happy that my mom was able to overcome those own obstacles in her own life. So I feel like I had to just take on that big sister role for my little brother who looked up to me, you know. And yeah, I just went through the motions.
And you still kept it the realest.
Yes, the realest.
So with all of that, you said you were in middle school when you started social media. How did you even like say one day, like, oh, I kind of want to just like do social media, especially being 14?
Right. So in like middle school days, there was these things that a lot of the girls would make. It was like flipagram. So you put like all these videos that you like of yourself into one big video.
I'm like, am I old? I've never heard of flipagram.
That was just like one of the first apps, like before Musical.ly.
I was gonna ask, was it before Musical.ly?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started like making those, and they ended up going viral. And I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. That's just like a once in a lifetime thing. And then I started with Musical.ly. And I don't know, do you know who Yulema is?
Yes.
So she started like belly dancing, and that's where I got my belly dancing from, and that's what I started doing on Musical.ly. I just started venturing out onto YouTube and everything, so it's all changed as I've grown up.
So right now you are known on social media as Real Ona.
Yes.
And you're 22, but her real name is Hailey, just in case we do have a new audience watching you. So how did you even come up with that name? Or how did that name even come about?
Right. So my last name's Orona, and basically in like school, there were so many Haileys. It's such a common name. Like I feel like everywhere I look, there's another Hailey. But they would just call me by my last name, and then eventually it got shorted to Ona. And then as I started Instagram and stuff, I actually got hacked 2 times. My first name was yt.ona, and that's because I loved Fora, and he had like yours truly. And,
that's right. Like his merch back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. So I was like, yours truly, Ona. And then that got hacked, and then I went on to lil.ona. That one got hacked at 500K.
And this is all on Musical.ly?
On Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram. Okay.
Yes. And then I finally just said, okay, this is my real Ona account, because everyone started creating accounts, and then eventually that's just what I stuck with, Real Ona. And then I even got it tattooed on the back of my neck so people know who the realist is.
Period. How cute. Do people come up to you and say, hi, Real Ona, or do they call you just Ona?
I think just Ona, but they better know.
I know. You're like, don't forget the realist in the beginning.
Period. For real. If you're gonna call me a bad bitch, you better call me the baddest.
the realist.
Yes, please.
Did you ever imagine your life was gonna be like the way it is now?
No, and I feel like that's why maybe like God had picked me to you know, venture and like help me out in a way, you know. I really genuinely feel that. I feel like I was blessed in that way, you know. I had a lot of more opportunities and ways to make income that way, so I could like go shopping. It was so cool, and I was able to buy my own stuff, you know.
I know. So did you start to making money like automatically when you started social media? Because on the Flipagram, was there even like income in that platform? No, right?
No, but
I think also like Musical.ly. I don't think Musical.ly was it monetized on Musical.ly.
I don't think so. No, okay. But like on Instagram, I would literally just like somebody would DM me how much for a story post.
Oh, you know what's funny? I think we worked with you before.
Really?
With O3 Fash.
I think so.
Like a long time ago. Or I think we tried or something.
Yeah, we tried, and then like something happened, but no, yeah, that's when I felt so cool too when you guys reached out. I was like, tea. For real though. But that's how I was making income, with just little story posts at first.
Or like O3s and stuff, huh?
Exactly. But at that time, I didn't even know that like management would be scandalous. Yeah.
And you were so young. So were you managing yourself, or did you end up like getting picked up by a management?
I ended up getting picked up by I've had maybe 3 managers altogether.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So they all kind of did me kind of salty. They did me weird.
Oh my God. And I feel like that's the tricky part about social media. Like, especially like signing. Did you ever sign contracts with them?
Yes. I had no idea what I was signing up for, basically. And a lot of people do stuff under the table, you know?
Yeah.
So
Do you think that's kind of when you realize, oh, I can actually make this a career as soon as they started like reaching out to you to manage you?
yes, and like when Fashion Nova reached out and stuff like that, I was like, okay, T. Or you know, like Bang Energy.
Oh, yes.
Yes, like I had a really good deal with them. And girl, they had a budget.
I heard.
Like, okay. No, yeah. That I feel like I made a good amount of money too, and I was like 16. I didn't know what to do with it. Like everyone was telling me save, 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 and I was like, who are you?
You're like, I'm 16. What am I going to save
right, literally.
for? Were you still living with your parents when you were already making money on social media?
Yeah, so I would like help out because we were struggling a little bit at home. But other than that, like that's when I first started venturing out, like going on tours and going in content houses and stuff like that.
I feel like with Hispanic parents, at least in the beginning, they don't really know how social media works.
Yeah.
How was it when you like first broke it down to them?
So my mom was kind of like, why are millions of people watching your stuff? Like, what are you doing? You're not scared there's like weirdos watching you and stuff? And I was like, Mom, like I could be somebody one day. But you know, she opened up to the idea when she saw that there was so many other kids who were doing what I was doing. And then like my managers would like be like, hey, you know, we'll watch her. She'll be good, you know, for this event or whatever it may be. But at first I was like, Mom, no, don't come. Don't embarrass me. But she wanted to see everything that was going on.
Oh, so like would she go? Because I know that you were at a content house called, was it KND?
Yes.
House. Would she like join you for all of that just to make sure everything was going good?
So I had moved there when I was 17. So she was like a little more like held back. She didn't really want me to go, but she just knew it was going to be a good opportunity for me. She would come visit me and whatnot, but Candy really did start off as a really good content house. Like it had good intentions to where all of us would be friends and creating the best content, inviting other creators. And it was a beautiful home. It was like I don't even know how much money, girl. That was just a big home. But it kind of just like plateaued and went somewhere else.
Yeah. Did you guys actually live in the house together?
Yeah.
You guys did?
Yeah, there was like at least 10 people living in that house.
And then all you guys, because at that time, was it Musical.ly or was it TikTok already?
I think it was TikTok already.
TikTok. Oh, okay. So you guys would just strictly do TikToks in the house?
Yes, and like Instagram. Like we would have to promote the K&D content page.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. But I feel like with that house, it started off with so much positivity, but somehow it turned into the most toxic home ever, you guys.
Really? Do you feel like because there was just too many like...
Yes, and so many different personalities. Management was bad. And then I was in one of the worst toxic relationships myself. That was probably one of the... I actually like lived with that significant other there.
Oh,
so it kind of just like we both were like physical with each other. It was just really bad. So like after that, I realized, okay, this is not like what I want anymore. But everyone was going through their own something like that. And then drug abuse was happening there with kids my age. Like still to this day, I think people are still hooked on drugs because of that house. So it's like crazy. And I'm glad that I like stayed away from that because I seen my mom go through that stuff. So I was just like, no, like this is not it. And then like management, it's funny because two people were the heads there, like other creators, and they ended up leaving because they didn't get along with management. So I had stayed there just a little bit longer to see how it would go. And there were so many damages in the house, and the manager tried to take money from only me, saying that I needed to pay those damages. Like they tried to do me in, girl.
Oh, like when you guys were already like ready to leave the house?
Yeah. Then she hit me with like a $14,000 bill. Like, girl,
what?
try again, because I'm not the one.
Did you end up paying it?
No, girl.
You're like,
no.
yes, not.
No.
Do you think that it was because of how stressful it was with management that the kids like turned to drugs?
Maybe, but I think it was a lot of the kids' first time being in LA, and we all know LA
Oh, I
is like a
see.
big
I feel like it
drug
just sucks
scene.
your soul, like especially if you're not
Yes.
from here. So I think if you're not from
Yes.
here, of course everything's just like, oh my god, we're in LA. Like,
Exactly. And actually, a lot of them, I think they were like already over 20, but
oh,
some
okay.
other kids were my age.
Mhm.
And I think like a good 30% out of the kids there didn't fall into drugs. And that's sad to
Oh,
say.
yeah, because it's a low percentage compared to the kids who did.
Yes, exactly. I'm just glad I'm not one of them.
So when did you feel like, okay, I have to leave this house? Like,
Yeah.
what was your last straw for you to be like, okay, I have to get out of here?
I think like when I realized she was trying to like make me pay for damages, up my rent when I was already paying 5K a month, and that was like already kind of a lot, you know. I was paying my way in others ways. Like I didn't like that. So I was like, this isn't resonating with me anymore. It's not really worth it anymore. I need to just move on. So I moved back home.
God, do you feel like there was any like impactful moments in the house or any like behind the scenes where you were just like, nobody on social media would have ever thought this was happening? Because I feel like it almost reminds me of the documentary with Piper. Like I recently watched and I was just like, what?
Yes.
Like, and then the videos that they showed was, I think it's crazy what happens in content houses,
No, for
especially when
sure.
kids are that young.
That should be a whole documentary, is content houses, because there is a lot of
Literally.
stuff going on behind the scenes. It was like really sad to say, but like everybody put up a facade, you would say, for like the internet, you know?
For like fame and money. Yeah.
And it wasn't even fun anymore because we had so many like posts we had to hit within that month for, you know, the manager to be happy and
Yeah.
stuff. And what is an impactful moment was like celebrities like Cash Page, Lil Mosey, they would pop up, and that's when I was like, oh my god, like we're actually people.
Yeah, you're like,
that-
we're famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then the house parties went crazy. Sorry, mom, she didn't know nothing about those. But yeah, that was crazy.
Do you feel like being in that house was probably like one of your hardest seasons?
I think it definitely was one of the hardest seasons because that was my first time being without my mother and then dealing with like toxic people in my life. That's when I started coming to realization that, you know, this isn't the lifestyle that I wanted for myself.
Yeah.
So I think that it did shape me to who I am, you know, now. So I'm happy about that. It was good overall.
You're like, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
How old were you when you actually left the house?
I think I was about to turn 18. So
18,
not
okay.
even that long. It was like maybe
So you were
8
in there for like,
months.
yeah, I was gonna say like a year, huh?
Yeah. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
too long, but a lot happened in that time, you know.
It almost sounds like if you lived like 1,000 lives, especially if you started social
know.
media at 14 years old. Like, how did you navigate being a teenager and having a huge audience, like a huge fan base?
I feel like it's awesome because I've had a very great supportive fan base that has like stayed with me throughout all my chapters in my life. I feel like during the time that I was younger, when I did get hate, I kind of would try to over explain myself because I know I made mistakes in the past or whatnot, but like I would just like over explain myself, and then my fans would be like, girl, like you have nothing to explain, like just be yourself, don't worry about the haters. And then they'd be like, if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like all that fame, it came for a reason, and it shaped me into who I am because I think I didn't have as many manners and morals as I do now too, because I didn't really know about how stuff would affect certain people.
Oh, I see.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Well,
I
I
was
feel like
still
you were also young.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like you're also growing and maturing yourself.
Yeah, like this person I am today is nowhere near that person, you know? And I'm happy to say that though. That's why it's like, if you knew me 5 years ago, you do not know who I am today.
You like, you
No.
don't know me actually.
No, you don't know me at all.
And then we also did see that you were touring, right? Was that during like in the house?
No, that was actually before. Yeah.
Oh, so you were touring when you were like 15ish. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, the whole US actually. Like it was called Boys of Summer Tour.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really cool because there was like 15 to 20 kids, and we would have all these meet and greets at all these like stops everywhere, and it was so fun. We just had so many people come out and see us, and that's when I realized that I can make a career out of it.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
was like, girl, this money's coming in. Like, people are buying my merch. I'm like feeling really cool at this point, you know? And then I didn't really like get to take in the fact that like I'm in Texas, I'm in New Mexico, but like I went to all those places at such a young age. And
I remember like when I would see them, like you guys would have a massive audience go and see you guys.
yes, like in Chicago, I think that was one of our biggest, and I'll never forget, biggest shows. There was like, I don't know, over like 2,000 people there to see us.
That's crazy.
Yes, and then we would like depending on what ticket they would get, we would even have like dinner dates with them and like one-on-ones.
Oh, how cool.
So that was
Okay.
really fun, definitely. I had a manager who kind of like navigated me into that because somebody had reached out. I think it was the head of Boys of Summer Tour.
Okay.
And then they like gathered all of these people to.
And it was when you guys were on Musically.
Yes, yes. So it was a bunch of Musically kids, and it was really cool. Like they all did what I did basically, so it was no weird nothing, and it was so cool because at the end of the night, like all these kids would be on the bus, and we'd be like going crazy on the bus, like I got hoes.
That's funny.
Like it was crazy on the bus rides. That was so fun, and then like. It was just everybody would fall asleep and we would like mess with them. It was just a really good atmosphere at that time, you know, just living the kid-free life. And that's when like everything from there made me feel like, oh my God, I'm actually like somebody. Maybe I am famous. When like you go on tour, you know, like I just hear like bands and that type of stuff, because at that time I feel like influencers were like slowly becoming a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it wasn't really like I guess like a stable career or like a stable job.
Right, because like when you do your taxes, we didn't know what to name ourselves.
Yeah, we were just
like,
like unemployed. Like I don't know what to call it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, the tour was just awesome. There were so many kids, 50 states. I don't know how many states we actually went to, but it was somewhere around that.
50 states?
We were gone for
Isn't
like
that like the entire
month.
US?
Yeah.
What?
We were gone
That's
for like a
crazy.
month, like a full month. There was times, you know, where kids would fight and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
remember getting into it with like other influencers too, you know, because we were around each other for so long. And then if there's drama on the internet, we're right there face to face. So it's like,
You're like, what's up?
yeah, exactly. From that tour, I think that I definitely gained even more of an audience that supported me in who I am.
And then did you end up going by yourself to the tour?
Yes, I did.
And it was just like all of you guys with your managements.
Yeah, basically. And then like some moms would come along.
Oh, okay.
And it was cool because there was like other kids there who were like singers or dancers who wanted to like venture out and like get their
okay.
name out there as well. So it was like a perfect opportunity for them as well. And this was my first time experiencing anything out of California. So that was cool. Management was basically, and Boys of Summer was covering everything.
Oh, like they were the ones who were managing everything.
Yeah, because they're getting so much money from all these tickets and everything too,
Yeah.
you know. We got paid like a little
okay.
bit of a percentage of the tickets because they would have to pick who their favorite influencer was.
The
And
management or the audience?
the audience. So when they got their ticket, they would
Oh.
have to pick like Ona, whoever. And then we would also be able to sell our merchandise.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yes. So that's when I first started touching a little bit of money.
I just can't picture being 14, 15, managing all that.
I had friends though where I made like so many connections with good people, you know, who I still have like friends who I went on with it to this day, you know. Not too many, but
Oh my God, that sounds like fun. I'm telling you, it sounds like you've lived like 1,000 lives.
uh-huh.
Because you went from the tour and then after Musically, it's TikTok. Musically turned into TikTok, right?
Exactly.
And then you got in the K&D house.
Yes, exactly.
And then all that happened. And then now you're 22 and you have a baby.
Yes.
How is that? Happy first Mother's Day. I know it just
Thank
recently
you.
passed.
It's amazing. I'm a young mommy teen. But I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It definitely like it gets stressful being a mom, and I still want to like have my own life, but like of course my baby is my first priority.
Yes.
And he's taught me so many things like about life just in his year that he's been alive. So it just changed me for the better overall, and it's like made me become more of a grown woman and like see the world in a different aspect that I never seen it before.
Yeah. No, I feel like once you have kids, you just instantly mature. And especially
Definitely.
because you're there 24/7 and that's all you know.
And that's like my thing right now is like I'm trying to like slowly crawl out of that, because being a mom, you know, I that's my whole persona right now. But
Yeah.
I want to be real Ona again. I want to get back into
Yes.
content and stuff like that. I feel like I'm trying to balance it out right now and like figure out what works best for both of us. So, you know, I'm slowly getting back into it again.
That's good because I feel like it's really good for your mental health too.
I think so too. Like just going and getting like my nails done or going shopping or going out to eat with a friend, like that's all very much needed. And when they say it takes a village, like it really, really does.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. Did you feel like you struggled with postpartum depression?
100%. I don't even think I realized that I was like going through postpartum depression, because I like heard so much about it and I was scared throughout my pregnancy. Like I don't want to go through that. But then like once I hit 3 months and I have all these hairs missing, I'm like,
Girl, same. I have 2 bald patches.
it's barely growing back right now. But like I feel like that's when I realized, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not my best self right now, because I realized, you know, like I was so stressed out. I'm trying to balance like my baby's needs, my needs, and I'm basically at home all alone because my man, he works, you know, so it's like me throughout the whole day. I don't really get that break. So I feel like after some time being, and when I got out to go with my friends and stuff, I was like, you know what? I needed this. I didn't realize I was in depression. And then my mom would be like, you know what? I think maybe you should like take a step back, you know, because you're starting to like lose yourself. Because I thought I was gaining myself again. And then I realized, yeah, this isn't me all the way. Like I'm not goofy like how I was or whatever it may be, you know, or I feel like I have so many more eyes and like a different like look at me, like you know, like they expect you to be like a mother,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I am a mother, but like I'm also myself plus a mother, and I feel like we
Yes.
shouldn't put so much pressure on moms because we already have that pressure going on.
Yeah, because I feel like we beat ourselves up a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Rose just like, oh, like I think that we strive to be like the perfect mom, but in reality, like there's no perfect mom.
No, there
And I
isn't.
think that we just eat ourselves up with that guilt, especially being on social media. I feel like social media is a whole different like add on to everything else that you're feeling, because you're just like, damn, now I have like an audience where I do have to try to be like the perfect mom, because if not, I'm gonna get judged. But dealing with that on top of like postpartum, it can be a lot.
I feel like everybody's judging everything I do. Like, I think one time I had like his seatbelt a little too loose, or you know, and like I was just like, dang, like that was probably the one time that happened, and then of course you guys are gonna hang that over my head. So it's just, I feel like everybody should just give the mother some grace.
Yes,
you know?
it's your first time being a parent. It's your first time learning all of this.
Right. And I feel like we should all give ourselves a pat on the back, because we do the best we can. And if your baby is healthy, fed, clean, then you're doing something right. You know?
I know, that's nice to hear that you want to like venture out and then just become a baddie. Because we were talking about this off camera. We were just like baddie first, then mommy.
Yes, exactly. Like I need to become that baddie teen / mommy.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with being a baddie and a mommy.
Period.
And you were 21 when you first found out you were pregnant, right?
Yes.
I know. How did you feel when you first found out?
So when I first found out, I think I was like more nervous than like happy, to be
Yeah,
honest,
of course.
because I was like, oh my God, did like I just ruined my life? Like honestly, that's just honestly how I felt. But I had to just take a breather, and I was scared about what everyone was going to say. I was scared about what social media was going to say. But then like my man kind of just reeled me in and was like, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this together, you know? And then I was like, my 21st birthday, I'm going to be pregnant.
Oh, you were pregnant for your 21st.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, right before this, I was in my feral era. Like I was going to raves. I was just like being crazy, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I had to do a whole like life switch real quick. But it all like, I had a great response from my family and friends. So it all helped me get through it, you know?
Yeah, like you had like a huge support system.
Yes. And my fans were actually really happy about it too. So I was like,
pregnancy is so beautiful. I don't know. I think that it's more of like, because I feel like it really does ground a person.
it does. Definitely. I think that's what made me like calm down and realize what my responsibilities in life are, where my priorities are. And like, I think that's what made me the woman I am now as well. As like my baby, like everything is for him. If I don't want him seeing it, I don't want to do it. You know?
How do you even deal with all the negativity? Because you've been on social media for so long. I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of like negativity online. How do you deal with it being so young?
I feel like I didn't deal with it as good as I do now, because before I had like, I feel when I was even younger that there was like more hate that I didn't know how to navigate. So I was like over here like, why is everybody hating me? And now I feel like there's more of a light that's being shed on cyberbullying and hate and all that stuff.
Yes,
Like
that's true.
back then, I don't feel like people understood it because there wasn't that many influencers like we had said, you know. And so now I feel people kind of have slimmed down a little bit on it. Of course, there's always still going to be haters, but now it's like, oh, you have something to say? Well, that sucks. I know that I have my people at the end of the day who support me, you know? So I don't really dread too much on that anymore.
Do you like have a boundary with your personal life and your social media life? How do you balance the both of them?
Definitely. And I think that's something that I've kind of always tried to do, especially like after being on social media for like 2 years. That's when I realized I need to separate my personal life from social media, because a lot of people would like to drag me into stuff and like put our personal life out onto there. And I was just kind of like, no, that's where I'm going to stop the line, you know? And that's why I haven't spoken on a lot of situations that have been dragged me into situations.
Yeah.
But I like to keep that out of sight, out of mind. If you're not in my life, it's for a reason. So
Honestly, I feel like you're very like emotionally mature.
Thank you.
Because I feel like you never respond to any negativity on social media. And I think you've been really good at that.
Thank you.
You're like, tell me more. No, yes. Yeah, I honestly feel like you have been really good at just zoning everything out.
I feel like that's the best option, to be honest, because if you feed into it, then they're going to have a response, and then you're going to have a response, and then they're going to have... So I just like, you know, fight with yourself. I ain't got time for that. Also, you know, me time, like I have to work my schedule around my son, which I'm totally okay with. But like, obviously, you know, I can't just get up and leave when I want to go do something. So yeah, a lot of that has changed, definitely, but I'll always find a way, you know?
Yeah. And I will say this, I feel like it does get better because coming from a mom that has a almost 5-year-old, I feel like, and now I do a lot for myself. I'm that bad girl. I feel like the older they get, the more it's easier to actually be like, okay, like now I can do this, do that, do that. And then they're okay. But I do remember like Alani being the age of your son. And yeah, it was hard. And then it's hard because I feel like they really do need like the mom. So it's like, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like if you need to go get a massage, go get it, honey. Because I feel like it's very much needed.
That's good to hear, because like I know that, you know, they're so attached to the mom at like a younger age, and I still like, you know, when they get older, but I think I've already seen a difference from when he was a newborn to now, where I'm a little bit like, okay, I'm gonna go run over here, you know.
And it's nice. I feel like it's nice having to like have, you know, us time.
Yes, exactly. I think it's very much needed for our mental health and for us to be the best mom that we could be.
Exactly. Now that you are a mom, do you feel like even like friendships or like relationships have changed since you've become a mom? Because I know since you were like at that concert house, you were touring, like did you keep any of those friendships?
I would definitely say I've had one best friend since I was literally like, I don't even know, 12 years old, who stayed by my side through everything, and they know who it is. It's Hope. You know, that's my ride or die. That's my shawty. But like from the content house, I would definitely say like a lot of people did do me dirty and like shady with like my past relationship. They're friends with like who I got cheated on with. So like that like ended a lot of things for me and showed me a lot of people's true colors. I had one other friend who I won't say any names. she was my friend in K&D, but we were like, we went through everything in that house together. We were kind of each other's like shoulder to cry on. But she ended up like switching up on me, and I felt really like betrayed because she ended up being really close with the person I got cheated on. And I won't go into too much about that either, but it's just like, you know, when you see stuff like that, it shows people their true colors, you know, and that I could never mess with because I could never do something like that to somebody. And then like Josie, that was one of my main girls, you know,
Oh, I
love
love her.
her.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just feel like definitely being a mom now has changed me for the better, but like a lot of my friends don't have kids, so they don't really like know that my schedule can't really fit in this or that. So it's okay, you know, we're just on two different timings in life, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm really like a loner, but like a cool loner. A party of two, please. Now I could go out to eat and not feel weird because I would never go out and eat alone at like a restaurant, but now I got my baby, so I'll go anywhere. Now I'm just glad that I found the person that I'm happy with, you know, because that like showed me a whole other world to what love really can be,
I
you
know.
know.
That's nice.
I'm so glad that like I went through it all, but like there's
Yeah.
a silver lining always.
100%.
You know, you have to go through the rough things in life to get to the better.
I'm going to give you your flowers because I feel like you carry yourself really well.
Thank
and
you,
very
girl.
mature. So you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Especially being like in the public eye for a very long time at such a young age and going through a lot, going through like a toxic relationship, you know, toxic friends, toxic content houses. You just kind of stood your ground and you came out of all that.
Thank you.
With the whole baby and like your family. So I think it's so nice.
Yes.
I'm sure your audience actually loves seeing that as well.
I think that they just are so happy to see me grow and have like a little mini me. They're like, now I want to watch him grow up. So it's really cool. It all came full circle.
I know. Imagine a little girl. Do you want more kids?
I do eventually, but like right now I'm like, let me get back into my little work for a second and then think about that.
What do you think was like your career milestone since you've been on social media for so long?
My next milestone is I definitely just want to start vlogging more, get back on YouTube, and then I'm going to come out with like a podcast soon. So,
I know. Ona was telling us off camera. That is so cool. You should definitely do that.
Yes, you guys. I'm so excited. And this gave me like my first like initial
We were practicing.
Yeah, exactly. And like I get the vibes now what it's supposed to be like. So I'm excited for
I know,
that.
and I feel like you've been doing really good at it.
Thank you. I'm like, can I be on the news now? I just did a whole interview.
I'll put you on TMZ. I'm just kidding. Do you have any like proudest like brand collaboration that you did?
I would definitely say like just working. I don't know, they're like little brands, but like Romwe, Sheen, stuff like that. It was so cool because like I was like the face of those things, you know. And like even when I did a little runway show in New York one year,
How fun!
yeah.
Was it for New York Fashion Week?
It was during that. I think it was called like Chick. It was like,
okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was my first fashion show, and like recently I was in a fashion show for Jordana. She was on Project Runway. She was a designer for that, so that was really fun. I feel like things are starting back up for me slowly, and I'm really happy with that.
And what about upcoming projects? So besides like your podcast, you want to start vlogging some more, and then obviously Instagram. Is there any other platforms that you would get on?
I think I would get onto Twitch and like start streaming because like with all the streamer university.
Yes, I was so like in tune with everything. It was so entertaining to watch.
Y'all, should Elsie start streaming?
Imagine if they're like, no. Everyone's like, please, Elsie, no.
No, I think they would love that. That'd be so fun, and like doing segments and like going like that'd be so fun, you know?
I hope we could start right now. We start live streaming us right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think you should do that. I think that'd be so fun, and I feel like it'll be so interesting.
Yes,
because I feel like you're in a way different era in your life right now.
I know, right? Yeah, that would be really fun. We both should start.
And then being 22 right now, what advice would you give either like your younger self or like a younger audience or like even like new young mommies or just like young girls in general?
I like that. I definitely, for my younger self, I wish I could tell her, girl, you got to keep going. Don't let nobody tell you no, you know. Do what your heart feels right and do what your mind tells you to do, because sometimes your heart leads you into the wrong direction. So I definitely I'm just happy that my younger self was always genuine from the start. But to the other younger audience, follow your dreams. No dream is too big or small. And for the mommies, yes, it gets stressful, but you got this, girl. Everybody's rooting for you. And if you need time, take that time, because that's going to make you better overall. So I definitely think that everybody got this in the bag. Believe in yourself.
Yes, we love that. I know you guys, and we are so close to wrapping it up. I'm so happy you came.
Thank you for having me.
And
This was fun.
I feel like it's nice just seeing you, because you have been indoors a lot. I hope it actually like felt good for you.
Yes,
like just
it
leaving the
does.
house and just giving yourself some time.
Exactly. I'm like, let me like start venturing out again. This was fun.
I'm like, you want to go to the strip club? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You're like, calm down. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's honestly, I think it was so nice just to see what you're up to and just hearing about your mommy life.
Yes, thank you.
And what you have coming on next.
Yes.
But thank you so much, you guys. We are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed being here.
I did. Thank you, Elsie. This was so fun.
Of
You're so
course.
sweet.
And then we're so excited, you guys. Hopefully we see her podcast live. And do you have a timestamp when you want to launch your podcast?
It's coming soon, but I don't have a timestamp.
We'll see that on all of her socials. I am going to put all of her socials down below. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much once again for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time on the next and final episode of our very first season of Me and Who Else. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.